What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we're going to use a pretty strong, pretty spicy, very boomful team here for the Great League here in Season 11. Now, earlier today, well today is Thursday, this video I think is coming out Friday. Earlier today I put out a tweet asking you guys to give me some spicy team ideas to run. I want to see what you guys have been running, and a member of the community that goes by the name of NCK228 shared with me this team, Nidoqueen, Galarian Lanoon, and Obstagoon here, which I thought that looks like a ton of fun. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team and these battles. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, getting into this first battle, we have Nidoqueen on the lead versus Trevenant. Okay, somewhat of a neutral matchup right here. We can win if we want to go all in, but they decide to swap into Dugong, so I'm going to go ahead and go into the Obstagoon. Now, the thing about a Dugong safe swap here is they're obviously going to be getting to Icy Wind, and they're also most likely not going to be shielding, knowing that they just debuffed me there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and go for the Hyper Beam. They know they can survive a cross chop. There's no reason to shield, which means I have all the reason to boom. Boom number one. Boom! One shot's the Dugong right there. We win the mid game. We are debuffed slightly, but they have to come in with something other than Trevenant. Sure enough, they have a Azumarill, which is perfectly fine. I'm just going to go ahead and try to go for another Hyper Beam right here. Why not go for the Hail Mary? It would be hilarious if I was running Gunk Shot as well, because they definitely would not expect that. But we're going to go ahead and throw the Hyper Beam, and we get a shield. Now, I swapped right away into Nidoqueen because I do have the Lanoon that I want to use to Gunk Shot this Azumarill when they swap out. So we're going to go ahead and shield the Ice Beam. We see the Trevenant come back in, and we are slightly ahead on energy right now, which means we can just go for these Poison Fangs right here. Does quite a bit of neutral damage and gets that debuff drop. Plus we have Obstagoon there for a potential safe swap if we need it, and I think we're gonna. So I'm going to go ahead and decide to shield right here, shield that Seed Bomb. We're going to throw the next Poison Fang. Now, I shouldn't have fully charged it up. I shouldn't have. I should have done maybe a nice and then farmed down. But that's okay. We'll have to see what happens. Azumarill's pretty loaded on energy, and they're going to go ahead and go for an Ice Beam. Now, they are energy dry right here, so I don't know if they have Play Rough, but I have to be very careful. So what we're going to do is come in with Lanoon right here. We're going to try to time the swap. Now, I'm counting 5, and nope, they definitely didn't throw the Ice Beam. They probably have a Play Rough right here, which is unfortunate. So they're going to go ahead and throw the Play Rough. Now, Lanoon is a part dark type Pokemon, which is going to be kind of rough, but we still have hope because we survived. Ladies and gentlemen, battlers of all ages, this is beautiful. We go for the Body Slam right here. We get the shield, and one more Snarl, and we get to the Gunk Shot. Yes, let's go. Lanoon is going to dunk on this Azumarill. Boom! One shots it right there, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. Buckle up, everyone. This is a good set. We got Nidoqueen versus Haunter now. Terrible lead to start off. We're going to go straight into our Lanoon, get ahead on energy, and we see a Shadow Machamp come in. This is like, yikes. This thing absolutely destroys us. We can't even get to 2 Body Slams in time, but thankfully that did quite a bit of damage. Now, they will fully counter us down, which is fine, and thankfully this thing is on the field. Now, I am concerned about another fighter in the back. Obviously, something like Medicham would be devastating. But we're going to go ahead and no shield right here. Probably just going to be a Rock Slide or Cross Chop. It is going to be the Rock Slide. That's fine. We will farm down now. Switch Clock is not back up yet, which is also very dangerous for us. So we're going to go ahead and go for a Poison Fang right here. This does obviously resisted damage here versus Haunter, but it's going to be lowering the defenses, which is really nice. These Poison Jabs are going to start adding up. Switch Clock's still not up. They're going to be throwing a Shadow Punch right here, so I'm going to go ahead and shield, and then we need to be very careful. We're going to go straight into Obstagoon right now, but I accidentally clicked on the Poison Fang. That might have been a mistake. I needed to get into Obstagoon, but it lands right there, which is perfectly fine. They decide to swap into Muck. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what do you do in this situation? You're a Muck. You have 2 shields. You're facing an Obstagoon. You know you can survive cross chops with ease. What do? You're gonna no shield, which is why I'm going for the Hyper Beam right now. Ladies and gentlemen, battlers of all ages. I'm gonna say that a lot this video. Boom! Boom! One-shots the Alolan Muck, and now we are in a race versus Haunter. Again, think about the dynamic of that situation there. You guys know Alolan Muck, right? Cross-chop, Night Slash, it can survive those. It's not going to shield right away. It'll shield later on when it actually gets threatened, which is exactly why we have the Hyper Beam. So we're going to go ahead and shield the Shadow Punch right there. We're going to try to do as much damage as we can, but they do get to another charge move. We might survive Shadow Punch if it is, but it's actually going to be a Sludge Bomb, which is fine. We come in with the Nidoqueen right now and Poison Jab down, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Okay, moving to the next one, we got Nidoqueen versus Gavantula. Okay, so I really like this lead for us. This is a lead win right here, and we are going to see them swap out into Scrafty. Again, Nidoqueen now looking extremely strong versus this team, as obviously getting Scrafty out of the way early right here is so beneficial for us, so we're just going to stay in. We're also going to no-shield. I don't need to fear a foul play, especially when it's not boosted. Sadly, it was a foul play that did a decent amount of neutral damage, but I didn't need to fear it. What I needed to fear was shielding a power-up punch and then them landing a foul play. That would have been dangerous. So we're just going to go ahead and Poison Fang. They decide to no-shield. That's fine. They want to reset. And we'll have to see what it's going to be in the back. It's going to be a Jellicent. So I'm trying to get to the Earth Power and then swap out. We go into the Lanoon right now to start getting ahead on energy. And we're going to no-shield. My win con here is really with Obstagoon to kind of close this game out. Lanoon doesn't have access to moves that can beat Ghosts. But thankfully they decided to bring in the Gavantula right here, which is beautiful because Body Slams can hurt a Spider. As we can see right here, that did a ton of damage. We're going to be able to get to another one in time, but not before they throw the lunge. So I'm going to go ahead and shield. I want to force shields out of the way from this opponent. So we will just throw another Body Slam now. This should be respected by them and get us a shield. That way the Obstagoon versus Jellicent matchup is much nicer now, instead of them having two shields. That's what I was kind of worried about. So we're just going to go ahead and go for another Body Slam right here. Force that final shield from them, but they decide to let it go, which is fine. We're going to swap into Nidoqueen now and go for the Poison Fang. I should have just gone for Earth Power here, but Poison Fang does the job as well, I guess. They decided to no shield because they're assuming it is going to be Poison Fang, which is again why I should have went for Earth Power, but that's okay. We're going to bring in Obstagoon and close this game out, as we do have Night Slash and they only have one shield, so that is going to be a good battle. Very well played to my opponent. Okay, moving into the next one, we have Trevenant again on the lead. So again, a pretty decent matchup, but we're going to swap out. I like that one with energy a bit more, and I like drawing out the Azumarill that are all likely in the back with Trevenant leads. We're also going to no-shield right here. The Seed Bomb will hurt, but it doesn't do too much right there, and we'll probably see them swap out. Here comes the Azumarill. Oh, this is why we have Gunk Shot. This is why I save swap when I'm leading Nidoqueen on a neutral lead against Trevenant, because boom, we can land Gunk Shots. It's beautiful, and now we can just go for Body Slams and really force some shields right here. Hopefully they do decide to shield. They didn't. They let it go. They let it go, and I'm like, how could you risk that? Okay, that's fine. We'll no shield this as well, and we survive, but Snarl is not going to be enough damage. They survive with literally 1 HP. So we're going to come in with Nidoqueen now. I'm guessing Galarian Stunfisk in the back. There's the Galarian Stunfisk. So we will be able to get to the Earth Power in time. Now, they threw this early, far too early. This is not an Earthquake. I will no-shield. It's going to be a Rock Slide, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and overfarm a bit and now go for Earth Power, but they actually do a wonderful swap here into Earth Power. So that's a good catch on them. Unfortunate for me, but that's okay because Nidoqueen still tears this matchup apart because we still have Obstagoon, right? So we're going to let this one go. It is going to be the Seed Bomb right there, and we're going to go ahead and swap now into Obstagoon and farm down with counter. We're also going to be no-shielding Seed Bomb here. The biggest charge move I need to be on the lookout for is going to be Earthquake from Galarian Stunfisk, and if I only have one shield, they have a higher chance of landing one. So now we're just going to go for Night Slash. Since we do not have Cross Chop, Night Slash still does nice neutral damage while potentially getting us a boost. So we're going to go ahead and start shielding. Now, Rock Slides will still hurt. It's neutral damage. So yeah, they're probably just going to Rock Slide spam, which rightfully so by them. We're just going to keep going for Night Slashes and close this game out. Now, I make a slight mistake right here, a bad judgment call on my end. As I'm getting concerned, they will be able to get to, for some reason, I'm thinking they're going to be able to get to an Earthquake. in time, like a Rock Slide, then an Earthquake, but that was just from mismanaging the energy that they do have. So I do decide to shield right here. It is, excuse me, it is going to be another Rock Slide. And then I decide to swap into Nidoqueen and go for the Poison Fang. This is where my misjudgment was about how much damage this was actually going to do. It did nothing. The defense drop did happen, but they just fully farmed me down. So this is dangerous. They only have the time to throw a charge move. And this is... oh, if it's an Earthquake. Nope, it's just a Rock Slide. We survive right there, and we'll be able to counter down. So that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. All right, moving to the next one, we got Nidoqueen versus Drapion. Okay, so with this lead right here, I'm just gonna go for that Earth Power. If I can get a shield out of the way this early, that gives Hyper Beam and Gunk Shot much more play in the end game. And I'm also gonna let this Aqua Tail go through. Hopefully, I can get to this Earth Power in time, which I do. This again, we're gonna swap right away if they do decide to shield, by the way, but they didn't. Boom! One shots the Drapion right there. And we do see Galarian Stunfisk come in, so we're going to go ahead and go into Lanoon now. Lanoon also doesn't have the best matchup here. Everything's resisted, but just watch how much these body slams start adding up. You really got to respect it. I wish Lanoon had a better matchup versus Galarian Stunfisk. That would be really nice, especially on safe swap, but that's okay. These body slams, they get a shield. Okay, so the battler was not prepared for the moveset right here, which, to be fair, this Pokemon is so spicy and rarely ever used that they wouldn't really know off the top of their heads. But that's okay. Now you guys know Body Slam Gunk Shot is going to be the typical moveset. But these body slams, again, they gotta be respected. Look at this. It's already below 50% HP. They're trying to throw another Rock Slide right here, which is not going to be enough damage to take me out. Snarl gains energy so quickly. So let's see if we can get to another Body Slam right here. We can, and now we've gotten this Galarian Stunfisk into the red, which is a beautiful setup for us, again with shield advantage. And if they actually didn't shield that other Body Slam, they could have lost this mid game. So they did actually have to shield. We're obviously going to go ahead and shield right here. I don't want to get hit with an Earthquake, but it is just going to be a Rock Slide. That's fine. Wasn't keeping too much track of the energy. But they do go for double Rock Slides right there. So they did have an Earthquake, but that's okay. This Rock Slide's not going to do too much damage. We will farm down, and they swap into Talonflame. So I'm going to go into Nidoqueen, and I go into Nidoqueen late. I should have swapped right away, knowing that I need as much time to get off the first Poison Fang and consecutive Poison Jabs, the fast move, in order to win this matchup. Because Talonflame, especially since it didn't shield, is going to try to take us out. But we are going to be able to get to another Poison Fang in time, which is actually ideal right here. They're going to go ahead and shield, and they're going to try to farm down, but not in time. We will take out the Talonflame there, and Galarian Stunfisk, again, just did double Rock Slide, so it's energy dry, and we will throw the Night Slash here to close this game out. So, good game, very well played to my opponent. Little mistake on my end. I should have gone into Nidoqueen right away to get that Poison Fang debuff on there. So, good battle. Okay, moving to the next one, we got Nidoqueen versus Alolan Marowak. Okay, so I like this matchup with energy, so I'm going to swap into Lanoon and get ahead on energy and see what they decide to do. They're going to go ahead and come in with Umbreon right here. So, first thought when I see Alolan Marowak and Umbreon is they really need a counter to a Azumarill, right? So there is most likely going to be some kind of Lantern, some kind of Venusaur, something in the back that hard walls. Now with Lanoon right here, we're just going to go ahead and go for Body Slams. I did go for the Gunk Shot there just to see how much damage it did, and it was a respectable amount. But Body Slam is just too nice. We're going to be able to get to another one in time, and I think in this matchup it's better to go all Body Slams right here, just because of how much damage it does. So we're going to go ahead, and I believe I decide to no-shield this. Yeah, I decided to no-shield it. We'll let the Lanoon go down. We'll come in with the Nidoqueen and farm down again versus that Alolan Marowak. It's a bit better. Now, what do they have in the back? They have a Walrein, actually. So, something that's somewhat neutral there to Azumarill. But thankfully, this Walrein is going to have to swap out because we're going to be throwing these Poison Fangs right here and get that defense drop. We're also going to no-shield. My win con is with Obstagoon, obviously. So this Icicle Spear is going to do a ton of damage. We're going to get to one more Poison Fang in time, really trying to force that shield here from my opponent because this is going to be devastating if they don't. They decide to shield, so now we'll unleash the Obstagoon right here. They're going to go ahead and throw the charge move. So I will actually let this go. Or no, I decided to shield. Okay, I should have let that go because I think I fear a Fire Blast more than I fear an Icicle Spear. So this is going to be pretty dangerous here versus Alolan Marowak. I will respect the Fire Blast, and if they build up enough energy, I'm shielding. So we're obviously throwing Night Slashes. They let the first one go through, and here comes the second one, so they're obviously going to shield. Now, if I see a Bone Club here, then obviously they don't have Fire Blast, but this is where it comes down. I'm going to go ahead and shield. I respect the GOAT. I have all the respect for the Fire Blast, and there it is. Oh man, if they boomed me with that Fire Blast, that obviously would have been really cool, but thankfully I know about the Fire Blast, so we shield it, and we're just going to go ahead and go for a Night Slash. Get that Alolan Marowak out of there and fast move down the Walrein, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. I believe that was the... Nope, we got more. We got more. All right, we got Nidoqueen versus Altaria. This is the last one. Okay, so somewhat of a neutral matchup right here, and what's nice about Poison Fang Poison Jab is it really starts to add up. We will be shielding the first charge move from Altaria, but what I'm kind of concerned about is an Azumarill in the back, so I don't want to fully stay in and just completely take out Altaria and have to give up 2 shields. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and shield right here on the Sky Attack. We're going to throw the next Poison Fang to try to force a shield from our opponent or get this Altaria extremely low, and let's see what happens. They decide to shield, so now we're going to go into the Lanoon right now, start getting a hit on energy, and they stayed in too long, which is beautiful. That means we can get to this Body Slam, and with 2 debuffs from Poison Fang, you guys know this is automatically going to take out the Altaria right there, so it is gone. That is awesome. Let's see what decides to come in. It's going to be a Venusaur, actually. Okay, so this is not too bad for us. I don't have enough time, really, to get to Gunk Shot, so we're just going to throw these Body Slams as quickly as we can. And I'm also not going to be giving up my final shield, as they clearly brought in a Venusaur right here to the Lanoon, which means they might be weak in the back to Dark, which Obstagoon with a shield would do very well. So we're just going to go ahead and no-shield that, let the Lanoon go down, and now we're going to come in with the Nidoqueen right here and try to get to this Poison Fang in time. But this Venusaur has a lot of energy, so we will give up a shield, and now we will commit to the Farm Down. That way we can throw energy against whatever's in the back, and I believe this is a Walrein again. So we're going to throw the Poison Fang right here, debuff the Walrein, and now swap into Obstagoon and just go to town with counter. Throw the Night Slash, obviously, as well to force that shield. They could be thinking this is Cross Chop as well, which would take him out, but they're going to go ahead and shield, which is fine, and they're going to try to get to 2 Icicle Spears. I don't know if they can, but even if they do get to 2, we should be able to survive right here. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close. Yeah, they do get to 2, but we fully counter down. We did get a fast move in right there, so hopefully, as long as we hang on, we're looking good, and we do hang on with like 3 HP in a dream. So we're just going to go ahead and throw the Night Slash here versus Venusaur to close this game out. So good game to the opponent right there. But with that Altaria lead, you can't stay in too long because there is something in the back usually weak to Nidoqueen. So good games. This team was a lot of fun. So shout out to NCK for sharing this with us on that Twitter post. Nidoqueen, Obstagoon, and the Lanoon, Galarian Lanoon right there. If you guys want to run with Cross Chop instead on Obstagoon, by all means do it, but I wanted Hyper Beam for the booms, obviously. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.